Is repealed is A?
Repealed, one was repealed, and it is A.
Okay.
Okay, so A, sample A, takes away the 10% discount because it states here, hereby repealed at the provision 90%, so they're taking that away. Okay, in sample B, he doesn't repeal that, so it stays on the books because it's already on the books. So you can either...
I'm not clear on what you're taking away from. The ordinance as it exists now.
Yes, sir, as it exists now, yes, sir. Has a 10% reduction, decrease. They can take 10% off that cow. And that was the question, do we want to take that 10% away and just let it be a $2,500 cow? So we didn't have a general consensus, so that means we have two on the table. One that says, yes, we're going to take that 10% away and have it maximum $2,500, or no, we're going to leave that 10% here.
Okay, well, the one that we're leaving $2,500 cap, that's what we've had, right?
No, we've had a $2,500 cap, but it was with a 10%. You capped that at $2,500, but then you took you a 10%.
That was the ordinance that we passed right after we took office when the request was made because of the financial state, and that we do that.
That's what we're currently operating on.
All this one is doing is, A is doing is taking that 10%
Yes, sir.
away.
A is taking the 10% away, which would bring the cap back up to $2,500.
Yes, sir.
So it
B
actually would be a little
is
increase.
keeping the 10% in place, so
Yes,
our
sir.
decision is.
And but this doesn't address any of the other issues that we were talking about earlier, but with your suggestion of going up 1/4%, and it doesn't address any of those issues.
No, because at the last meeting, that's why I understand that the consensus was we are not going to do that.
When you do that.
Well, we weren't going to do that, but I thought we were going to workshop.
That's what I thought too, that we're going to have a workshop and
talk about it.
That's right.
Before we decided which one we were
this.
going to do.
Yeah.
Right?
This
That's
is
why
a
we're
step.
going to table it again, because, we didn't have a workshop. We could get everybody together.
But I think we're directing where we're going to head by choosing
Yes,
option
I
A
do
or
too.
choosing an option B.
And you don't have to do that tonight.
And
You
I
don't
think
have to
that
do
we
that at
shouldn't.
all.
I think that we should sit in a workshop and hash out which direction we want to go
There
in.
you go.
Do we want to go in this direction, or do we want to have
Other options.
another option, which
Right.
let's say would be, let's say that we took off the 10%, and then the year after that, we started phasing in a percentage increase.
Which is, I thought that was the impression I had in the last meeting, that was what we was going to do before the end of the year.
Well, I have council come in and say, this is what I want. And that's why we have so many of them on the table, because I'm trying to make everybody happy, so.
Well,
But we have to have
need
But
a
again, I thought we were going to have a
workshop.
workshop.
Yeah.
no, that's what my impression was. To be honest, I wasn't expecting to see this when I came back in.
Okay. We'll just let
Well, on the
that.
20th, that's definitely one of the items we'll workshop.
Just let that motion go, then.
Okay.
We don't have to find that one out.
Okay, so we won't act on the item number 1, yeah.
Okay, but now listen.
Yeah.
Now, some explanation needs to be given tonight why it's not acting, because everybody in town is starting to get feeling like you're floundering on dry ground with this. And something's gonna have to be made apparent before long, because every time we sit here on camera and we don't decide, and it's gone 4 and 6 weeks, it don't look good on everybody, so
What would you like to see done, Mr. Mason?
I would like to see within the next 2 weeks, and we've got it set, a workshop now for sure, and a decision has got to be made when you hold your next council meeting. We need to all be in agreement. Now, I got the feeling that nobody was happy with the 0.5%, so let's go 3.5%. Well, when that hit the papers, now all of a sudden, it seems like nobody wants to do 3.5%, nobody wants to do nothing. So I don't know, some of you've been talked to or what, I haven't.
I haven't been talked to, Jeff.
I'm flexible, I told y'all, but.
I'm willing to do anything that we need to do, Jeff. I mean, if it's a question of, do we want to put the 10% back, I'm not opposed to
I don't,
that.
I wanna leave them with a 10% reduction.
And then phase in a percentage.
But y'all gotta realize, if you phase in something as drastic as 3.5% over 5 years, you've carried them way on up there. And the economy's still bad.
It is.
I
And
don't.
I'm not saying that that's, I wasn't necessarily against the 0.5%.
I wasn't either. I would have been on the first workshop.
I know 0.5% is not much over 5 years, that's only 2.5%, but the way things are around here nowadays, I say you take it easy on the business owners. We lucky to keep them, we're lucky to keep what we got going around here right now.
Don't get the wrong impression that I'm after the 3.5%, wasn't it?
Okay.
Hadn't even mentioned it. You know, no one's talked to me.
I didn't know anything until
I
it
don't
was
know.
brought up.
I thought we was gonna have a workshop and talk about it, so what
That was my impression.
Well, we're gonna have one on the 20th now, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll decide, we do need to make up our minds what we're gonna
Yes,
do,
we do.
because the businesses are.
They're getting a little,
They apprehensive.
it's out there in the open, people are talking about it, and it's not gonna be long before, it's just gonna be trouble, so. We need to bury it. We need to go ahead and act on it and bury it by the
I
next
think
meeting.
anybody's disagreeing with you, Jeff.
No?
Okay, item number 2, ordinance regulating keeping dogs and cats.
I'm just gonna make the motion, we rescind the one that's on the table, and I'll make the motion that we lay this new one on the table, and by the workshop, we will decide whether we like this one.
Okay.
And Lori's in the process of trying to get a contract through Mobile County for the guy to come up on Saturdays.
What did Mobile County Commissioners sign?
They voted today to allow us to contract with them, so they'll be drawing the contract up and sending it to the mayor.
I did notice today that the animal control truck was in Citronelle
Right, I'm
today.
sorry, okay.
And that on the board.
I saw plenty of dogs, I could have ran him down, just give him the locations. Okay, so Jeff, you gonna take 1 and 2, right? Or- Okay. Item number 3 is the ordinance authorizing the South Alabama Utilities to lease the Main Street office building. This is to rent the 2 office buildings right over here on, right beside us. Usually the prices in here, what they're renting for, that includes the water. And in fact, Norman Gale is gonna, he's gonna rent one of the buildings, I'm not sure which one, maybe the small one. He's gonna start, coming up a half a day every week. So, I think we have an attorney in town right now, so that, that was good news. So where do you want to take that one? Item number 4 is to ratify Mayor authorizing the Volunteers of America Southeast Incorporated to apply for funding. This is, find my paper back here. Mr. Creel, he's a friend of Glenn Vernon's, and I've talked to him a couple of times about this. As the letter says, it's no funding. There's no money that directly passed through the municipality, but there are pass-through dollars for nonprofit organizations within the municipality, and this includes our volunteer organizations like Keep Citronelle Beautiful, the historical. The Kiwanis is excluded in that, but most all of the other nonprofit volunteer organizations, they have to have the city's stamp of approval on it to get grants that would help this, and they will be keeping us informed monthly on any progress on reasonable progress toward program goals. So, we will be getting an update, so we'll know if we're actually gaining anything or not. So that's what that's about. And Joe, will you take that one out of
Yes,
number
ma'am.
4? And item number 5 is request